Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. My name is Harry Rice. I am doing Canadiens games recaps throughout the playoffs, and it appears that they will not be lasting much longer, unfortunately. The Montreal Canadiens played tonight. Game 3, of course, of their series against the Washington Capitals in the first round. They lose this game. As you can tell by the score above my head, I was hoping I didn't get it wrong, and thankfully I didn't. Well, unfortunately. We're gonna talk about this. So yeah, we've got some shit to talk about this game, about the series, and how the Canadiens have been getting screwed. Really. Firstly, Sporty in the chat. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts on this one because I have an opinion myself. I'm sure you do. I'm sure it's incorrect, like most of your opinions. Gabriel, what is up, Harry? Been so long time no see. Absolutely, Gabriel. I'm pissed as well. Series could definitely be 3-1 us right now. It absolutely could be. 100%. Absolutely could be 3-1 like usual. So, I'm glad to see you in here, Gabriel. It sucks that it's under this type of series that it's not going our way. It sucks it's because of the officiating and no other real reasons, honestly. But regardless, we got a game to talk about, and it was actually pretty good for the most part. Up until a point where the officials kind of fucked us. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. So, of course, we're going to talk about it again. Game 4, this is at home. I just realized I'm wearing the white jersey, so if you guys would please give me a moment, I'm going to go switch into the red jersey, because this is not the right one for losing games. Give me a second, boys. I'll be right back. Shit, completely forgot to change the jersey. Oh. God. Alright, I'm back, boys. I'm just not on camera because I'm putting the jersey on, and it'd probably look very awkward if I were to suddenly walk on stream while changing into the jersey. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I just realized this looks like an unnaturally red. I just noticed that. It looks unnaturally red. I agree, Gabriel. Caps have not been dominant in any of these games. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I didn't realize it was the jersey. I am the table indeed, Odelski. Hey, Habs Guru Darkness, how's it going, boys? Thank you guys for coming by. All right. I apologize. I had to leave you guys for a second. I was changing into the losing jersey. So, yeah. Tonight's game against the Capitals. It was good to an extent. We'll talk about it. Yeah, the Canadiens at home tonight playing the Capitals. Game 4 of their first round series. It looks like it's not going to be a very long series, unfortunately. The opening lines for the Canadiens. We're going to get right into it. Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, Newhook, Evans, Demidov, and Heineman, Kapanen, Armia up front. Gooley, Hutson, Matheson, Carrier, and Jack Savard were on the blue line. Jakub Dobeš gets the start for the Canadiens, and Caden Primo would back him up because Montembeault is out day to day. So the Capitals, yeah, sucks. Don't worry, not as long as Dylan Strome, man, I'm sure. The opening lines for the Capitals were Ovechkin, Strome, Beauvillier, McMichael, Dubois, Wilson, Mangiapane, Eller, Leonard, and Duhaime, Dowd, Radish up front. Chychrun, Carlson, Waugh, Sandin, and Alexiev Van Riemsdyk on the blue line. Logan Thompson would get the start despite the injury he suffered last game. And Charlie Lindgren backs him up as the Capitals do not want him in net. They know that the Canadiens would probably run them over in this series. Before the game, I just said, all right, let's see where this goes. Possible double backup game, but it was confirmed half an hour before that Thompson would start. Savard, it wasn't confirmed if he was going to be in the game or not. He had taken a therapy day. Marty said that it would be more of a game time decision if he would play, and I said he was in the lineups. He would. There was speculation about if Montembeault would be good to go. Unfortunately, he wasn't. Crowd was loud for the anthems. They were chanting Olé before the anthem started. Just a fantastic crowd in the Bell Center, the best in the league. There's no other team that comes anywhere close to the amount of ravenous fans and arena noise generated by the Bell Center. No building even comes close. And that's just a fact. Anderson has a hit early on. I never called the Habs to win, let alone make the playoffs. At least make the Caps hurt for round 2. The experience these young guys get is more valuable than making the second round for now anyways. Not at all, Habs Guru. I completely disagree. I come into the playoffs as a Canadiens fan expecting a Stanley Cup. A first-round exit is completely unacceptable. I don't care if it's a team that might have 60 wins or it's a team that limps their way into the playoffs the way this year they did. As a Canadiens fan, and as I'm sure the players do as well, I want a Stanley Cup. I don't want to be a first-round exit and say, oh, well, the experience is fine, the experience is good. The experience is going to help them, sure. I don't give a shit about that. I want a Stanley Cup. I want to be up 3-1 in the series, about to clinch into the second round, not down 3-1, barely holding on and probably getting eliminated in Washington in Game 5, which is probably the worst arena to get eliminated in, aside from, of course, Carolina, let's be honest. And the Islanders probably, and St. Louis is up there too. There's a lot of bad arenas to get eliminated in. But, yeah, I want a Stanley Cup. As a Canadiens fan, I want a Stanley Cup. I want the 25th in franchise history, and it's not going to happen this year. I accept that, but I'm still disappointed. I want a Stanley Cup. I don't want to be a first-round exit looking at, oh, well, experiences help. Fuck the experience. You want to experience? Win a Stanley Cup. That's your experience. Anderson has a hit early on. As much as I love the Habs, I want a cup as well. I didn't think they would beat Washington. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want the same as well. Exactly, Habs Guru. Completely understandable. I think that they easily would have beaten Washington if the officials were as even as they were in Game 3. I think that they called a lot right in Game 3. I didn't complain about them nearly as much. The Capitals basically got away with murder in the first two games. Once again, completely in my opinion, I think that this team could have beaten the Capitals if the refs called the interference on Ovechkin in the first game the way that they called the clear head shot on Evans in this game, which we'll get to, of course. If they were calling everything that the Habs are getting called for. It's very much like the Vegas series in 2021, except we are able to overcome the officials in 2021 because the Golden Knights weren't that good. These Capitals aren't that good either. In fact, they're probably going to get destroyed by Carolina in the second round, and then Carolina, of course, gets swept in the Eastern Conference Finals because that's usually what happens. The Hurricanes aren't good enough to win it all. Neither are the Capitals. That's the way I see it. I think we could have easily beaten them. We'd probably be up 3-1 in the series. Of course, we all talk about that the blown icing call that leads to the game-winning goal in Game 1. That's a huge missed call. The interference Ovechkin had on Caulfield that ended up that Brennan Hagel got called for something that was slightly worse on. Matthew Tkachuk gets called for it with what's his name, Jake Gensel, touching the puck. Caulfield doesn't touch the puck, and what happens? Ovechkin blows him up, and there's no call. So yeah, the way I see it, I think the Canadiens are getting fucked by the officials. I think it's just a fact. I think if you're a Capitals fan, I think that if you're a Capitals fan, you just need to come to accept the fact that the Canadiens have the Capitals beat. They have the Capitals beat. It took our starting goaltender, who's playing much better than Logan Thompson, by the way, to be injured. It took the officials being on your side. It took Tom Wilson getting away with murder, basically, trying to break Josh Anderson's neck last game, shoving him into the bench and trying to break his neck on the actual bench, I should say. It took all of this and a lot more for the Washington Capitals to have a 3-1 series lead. And quite frankly, it should be the other way. At the very least, it should be a 3-1 Canadiens lead. If not, Canadiens probably should be sweeping the Capitals right now. I mean, every game up to this point that the Canadiens lost, if you're excluding the empty net goals, which, let's be honest, aren't real goals, Canadiens only lose by a goal each game. Of course, Game 1 went to overtime. No shit, that's a 1-goal game. Game 2 had an empty netter. This game had 2 empty netters. Canadiens lose all these games by a goal. If Game 1 and 2, they have the experience that they have in Game 3 and 4, I have no doubt in my mind the Canadiens are blowing out the Capitals. And this is a 4-1 series lead, or at the very most, it's a 3-1 Canadiens lead in this series. That's the way I see it personally. But of course, you guys let me know what you guys think in the whether you're in the live chat right now or you're in the or if you're in watching this afterwards. Let me know in the comments. Or hell, if you're watching it now and you just want to let me know in the comments after the stream, go for it. I don't care. Go for it whenever you want. After Game 3 performance, the Habs underwhelmed in my opinion. Sporting, not at all. Completely blown up 5-on-5. Again, that's not true. Lack of real pressure besides the power play. No, not really. Dobech stood in his head. No, he didn't. Caps could have had 8. No, they couldn't have. They didn't do enough tonight. That's just all completely wrong. Those are my thoughts, but I'm intrigued on what you have to say. 5-on-5, it was more just a chess match. It wasn't even that the Canadiens got completely blown up, in my opinion. Yeah, the Canadiens didn't even get blown up 5-on-5. Again, it was more defensive. The Capitals really implemented a defensive structure as opposed to the pure physical, throw all the dirty hits you can that they had in the first 3 games. Probably because the officials went to both teams, I'd imagine, and said, hey, you guys got to cut it out. There's going to be something, you guys are going to be getting a lot of penalties. I'm only going to be taking one man out of scrums, stuff like that, which is why you did not see a lot of scrums, especially compared to Game 3. Game 3, it felt like every stoppage and play, there was some guys talking, guys holding on to each other. It felt like there was a lot of that in Game 3, not nearly as much here in Game 4, unfortunately, because that Game 3 was genuinely one of the best games I've ever seen watching hockey. Lack of real pressure besides the power play? Not at all. When you pressure on the power play, that means you're just pressuring the game in general. Canadiens had some momentum, especially in the second period when they were, once the Capitals led in shots 6-0, they really took the brakes off. They took their foot off the brakes. Canadiens were able to come back as a result of that and tie those shots up. Dobech standing on his head, not at all. I thought that he was completely the reason for the first goal being scored. Third goal, I think he should have had. Second goal, that's just a very unlucky break for the Canadiens overall. We'll talk about each of them, of course. I don't think he's still on his head. He made 2 good saves. But yeah, no, I don't think that he really had to do as much work as Montembeault needed to in the last 3 games. Well, technically 2.5 because Dobech played just about half of the game, I think, in Game 3. Wilson put the Habs to bed with that crushing blow that led to the game-tying goal. I think you mean Rick Norris. I think you mean the headshot that didn't get called that led to the game-tying goal. I think that's what you mean. I corrected you there, brother. You're very welcome. Spirit of Ovi, yeah, thank you for coming by, my man. Good, sir. Habs versus the Capitals and the refs. Exactly, Habs get rid. I wouldn't say the Bettman affected the refs. That's one thing I don't agree with. I don't think Bettman wants the Capitals to make the second round. If Bettman wants more money in the NHL, which is his job as commissioner to generate money for the NHL, they would want the Canadiens in the second round because the Canadiens make infinitely more money than the Washington Capitals, even if the Capitals have Alex Ovechkin. The Canadiens are the Canadiens, the most prestigious team in hockey. In hockey, the Canadiens are the epitome of a hockey team. The Canadiens are the most recognizable team. They have the most recognizable logo in professional hockey, in sports overall. The NHL makes a lot more money with the Canadiens being in the second round compared to the Washington Capitals. This really just comes down to the refs just fucking suck. That's really all it comes down to, in my opinion. Again, refraining from trolling the series is fun. Agree, Ovi. Darkness, that's how I feel about the Blue Series. Like, yeah, we're tied, but like we've been the better team. We've even blown a yeah. I wouldn't say you've been the better team. I mean, hell, I'd argue the Jets are really just sucking because of Hellebuck. But yeah, Mr. Intamin, not at all. Caps team is not stacked. The Capitals team is not stacked whatsoever. They have a good top line. They have a good top 6. But when Anthony Beauvillier is in your top 6, it's not that good. Like, Dubois is good. Wilson's a third liner on most teams. He just fits in the Capitals system. McMichael's young. He's pretty good. They're missing Protas, who all of a sudden came out of nowhere and said, hey, you know what? I feel like being a first-line center. And, yeah. Of course, Ovechkin is just Ovechkin. He'll coast in the left circle until he finds an open shot. They have a good top 6. Their bottom 6... their bottom 6 is more defensive, of course, which means they can't be that good because they're not generating much offense. Their defense is all right. I like Alexiev. Chychrun signing an extension. I think that's going to be a really good extension for him. Carlson's getting old. He's lacking defensive awareness, as he has for most of his career. They're a decent team. They were really carried by their offense, though, this year. They really upgraded a lot offensively and on their penalty kill, which were the 2 things that really kind of hurt them last year, especially against the New York Rangers. They had getting just swept aside like the relevant franchise they are most years. So yeah, Logan Thompson, he's a good goalie. He can be. And Lindgren just sucks as a backup, so I don't think you can say this team is stacked when they have a bottom six that's not as good, a defense that's pretty good, but then a backup goalie that completely sucks, takes them from being a great team, a stacked team, to being a mediocre team. That's the way I see it. Where did I leave off? I wonder how they approach Game 5 with the aggression. I guess I was just underwhelmed after everything that happened in Game 3. Sporty, exactly. You were expecting a complete bloodbath in Game 4, and instead it was more of a defensively minded, not a ton of shots style of game. I mean, hell, the shots went last game from being, what were they? 40-21, to the shots in this game being like 26-23. I'm not looking at my notes to see that, but it was much fewer shots compared to last game, or 27-21. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what the shots ended up being. So a lot less shots compared to last game, a lot less scrums, a lot less in general nastiness. Really, it was much more defensive. I think that's the best way to put it. And again, 2 of the goals being empty netters, 2 of the goals being on the fault of Jakub Dobeš. Yeah. If the rules were reversed, we'd be bitching too. Let's go, Ovi. Shout out. Appreciate the feedback. Core Sporty. Anytime you wanna send something my way, I'll give you my feedback, whether I agree or disagree. I'll let you know. Ernest Chan family, how's it going, my good sir? Yo, what's up? How you doing? Good. Long time see you. Yes, indeed. Did you watch Blue Jays versus Yankees? Not at all. I am not following the Blue Jays this year. I'm protesting them ever since they gave Vladimir Guerrero probably the worst extension in MLB history. They signed this dude until he's 41. He can barely homer. He can't run. He's a one-trick pony, and his one trick isn't even that good right now. So, yikes. Look at my squad when you can. What the hell do you mean by that, Odell? Sorry, Harry. No problem, Bane. It was almost a 2-2 series. Yes, indeed, it was. Almost a 2-2 series. Again, probably should be... Oh, look at Mod Squad. Okay. You just said M Squad, so what am I looking at? You better not have posted the video. I agree, Odell. I agree with that very much. Yeah, it could be, again, could have been a 3-1 Canadiens lead. Sucks that it wasn't, but you know what? We'll probably have the 18th pick, because let's be honest, the Senators are probably getting eliminated tomorrow, more than likely. Yeah, this is a series that the Canadiens could have had a 3-1 series lead in, but unfortunately, due to the refs and the Capitals throwing a bunch of dirty hits, it's not going to be. It's going to be a 4-1 Capitals series, I would imagine. On the off chance that we do come back from this, we will never let the Capitals live this down. People are going to mention 2010, and I'm going to say, fuck 2010. That was 15 years ago. Get over it. It was 15 years ago. The Capitals are going to take Game 5. I've accepted that. I thought that we would have come out tonight and been able to win, because it's a home crowd. It's the best NHL arena to play in for both opposing players and home players, of course, obviously. It's the best arena to play in. Capitals just kind of figured that out. Again, the refs weren't calling as much as they probably should have. Again, the Tom Wilson hit on Alex Carrier, which was a clear headshot, should have been called. Ovi's headshot on Evans should have been a 5 in a game. I think if someone doesn't skate over Ovechkin's neck or Wilson's neck in Game 5, that's a huge letdown, and that's not me being angry. No, I thought about it, and yeah, it'd be worth it. Someone skating over either of Wilson or Ovechkin's neck would be very warranted, and I'd be very happy about that happening. Yeah, if I don't watch hockey, Habs will come back. I didn't watch hockey for 3 days, and Habs won. Knights won too. Habs win, but the Golden Knights win. You can watch hockey, Bane. I give you that permission. So yeah, Anderson has a hit early. Gooley has one as well. He then takes a hit from Brendan Duhaime moments later. The Habs crowd chanted Thompson twice early on. They were chanting that all night. It felt like every save that Thompson made, every goal that he allowed, they were chanting for Thompson, trying to get in his head. Kind of worked. Dude kind of sucked tonight, let's be honest. Habs go to a power play 3 minutes in. Alexeyev gets called for interference on Emil Heineman as the Habs try to press. Caulfield has an immediate shot, but that gets blocked by Duhaime. Capitals end up clearing. The second unit isn't able to get much. They do kill it off, so the Habs are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. You got 250 on the Knights to win the series. How the fuck is that going to work? I'm pretty sure they weren't the underdogs. I'm pretty sure the Wild were the underdogs. Unless you put that when the Wild were up 2-1 in the series. Then I'd understand that, but... Personally, I'm assuming you did watch my my playoff predictions. If you didn't, I said Minnesota to win. I know, I think I said Vegas to win, but I would love Minnesota to win, because, let's be honest, that would be really fun. But, yeah, we will see what happens in that series. I really want to be watching LA and Edmonton right now, so we're going to try and get this irrelevant team playing the Canadiens over with quickly. Anderson has a nice shoulder to shoulder on Dubois. The Caps then press briefly. Canadiens press. Both teams getting physical. Not as physical as the last 3 games, but, just like, hey, boom. Hey, I'm here. Boom. Little physical hits. Pays 1.5. You get 400 back. Oh, shit. Nice. That's actually pretty good then. Shots for the were 3-1 for the Canadiens, 7 minutes in. Ovi then tries to level Carrier. He nearly ends up putting himself on the Habs bench instead. Carrier would end up going off shortly afterwards. It looked like his leg was a little hurt. Thankfully, he would come back, but he did leave for a little bit. Bane, Knights are great, but bad goalie. Yeah, I would say so. Salty, are recaps back for the playoffs? Absolutely. For next season, I'm not sure. I definitely want to do video recaps. Not the way that like Hockey Junkie or those guys do, but more think more along the lines of the hockey guy. One take, just talking to a camera, not showing highlights, because the NHL would fuck me in the ass if I was showing highlights. But recaps, maybe we'd come up eventually and do a live game recap. But I'm thinking for the playoffs, we do the live streams. And for the regular season / preseason, maybe preseason we come up live as well. And in regular season, we do the video recaps. Because instead of doing these for an hour and a half for Montreal and Utah, it makes more sense for me to come up here, talk for 10 minutes about Montreal and Utah, and boom, get that done with, get that posted, and focus on the rest of my evening. Instead of talking about an hour and a half about some fucking Montreal-Utah game that ultimately means nothing at the end of the year. Demidov was smooth with it. Yes, he was salty. Knights-Kings, LA, kind of great game. I mean, for it to be like that series, Knights versus Kings, both teams would need good goalies. IOE, hey, Sons, how's it going, man? Thank you for coming by, my good sir. Much appreciated. But you're saying irrelevant team, you're talking about the Caps. Of course, Wolverine. Of course, I said let's get through the irrelevant team that's playing the Canadiens. Glad you caught that. So yeah, Ovi tries to level Carrier. He caught a little bit of the left leg. That looked very ouchy. Like I said, Carrier would leave for the rest of the first. Thankfully, came back for the start of the second, though. There's an icing that gets called on the Habs. We then get a rush chance, but there's no shot. Habs end up clearing a puck, no icing as it goes off the netting. Thompson is forced to cover up as Wilson bitches to an official. Wilson's kind of smelly, not kind of, he just is probably. I don't think he washes that often. Caps press, but there's no shot. Strome ends up with a breakaway that gets a breakaway that breaks the stick of Gooley somehow. So Gooley's just going in, he's trying to just poke at the puck, and it's as he's shooting. So as Gooley's coming in, just takes the shot and gets the stick in. That was really fun. Have you ever considered doing a watch party on Habs game, something more chill? Wolverine, it would not be chill. I would need to do play-by-play of some kind, I think. And we couldn't get Sporty to do that because, well, for one, he doesn't have that great of a mic, unfortunately. He has a good mic for Discord calls, not a great mic for general VCs. And also, he's ahead of me by like 30, 40 seconds when I watch down here because I don't have a TV in my office, obviously. It's just my computer, my DVDs, and my video games. Well, some of my video games. Most of them have been moved to the other room now. Actually, I think all of them have moved. Yeah, all of them have moved to the other room, actually, funny enough. So, yeah. I have thought about doing stuff like watch parties, but I'm not sure if those would work with me, because, again, I gotta take my notes for the post-game stuff, which is usually a video. I don't know. Plus, I don't like doing them because I watch the games a lot with my dad. I watch every Canadiens game, preseason, regular season, postseason with my dad. The only times I don't is when he works and there's a Habs game on that night, which is very rare that happens. There's at most once a year. So for that game that it happens to be on, yeah, maybe we could do that. We could probably do a watch party for like that game, potentially. I would try it out. But right now I'm going to say that I've considered it. I just don't want to do it. If ever I get to the point where I'm living on my own, or I should say not if ever, when it gets to the point where I'm living by myself, I'd probably consider it. I'd probably consider it. I don't know if I would do it full time. I would definitely consider, though. I would heavily consider, I should say. It would also just at that point depend. It would just at some point depend on how the Wi-Fi is, of course, as well. Because the Wi-Fi's shit. I'll be able to upload videos. I just won't be able to stream. If the Wi-Fi's pretty good, I could probably do both. So, yeah. You gotta do a DVD collection video sometime. Bane, yes I do, man. I have, I've considered, I actually shouldn't say I have all my video games in, up here, out of the room. I have the ones that I'm selling on my eBay, up here right now. So, yeah, I just gotta get those out. But yeah, I gotta do a DVD collection video. I was gonna do one in December. I actually filmed all of it, funny enough. But I just didn't end up posting it, and then by the time I got to the point where I wanted to, I'd end up getting a shit ton of DVDs, which I have 2 hauls. I've started uploading one. I for sure edited one. I just need to edit the second one and post both of those. And yeah, those will probably be sometime during the summer. Not summer, but sometime. I'll try and do those in the next week. And yeah, it's either I do that, or I think actually what I'll do is I'll do a video with the updates. But if people would rather watch the DVD collection, I'll do a full, DVD collection overview. Because there's some stuff that's in my collection that I want to sell right now. Because, for example, I have every season of Columbo. I don't give a shit about Columbo. It was in that giant haul I got. So it's it's in my collection right now, but I will get rid of it eventually. This might be early, but what would you like the Habs to do with the shit ton of picks they have this draft? Sell both first rounders. This is a weak-ass draft. The Canadiens could probably find gold late rounds. The first round picks... Sure, they're hopeful, but you use at least one of them to get Sidney Crosby. You go Crosby for one of the firsts, Doc, and you throw something else in. Toss that to the Penguins and get Sidney Crosby. And if the other one, if you want to use that to pick someone, Justin Carbonu, is that the dude? I forget who it is. But you pick him. If you don't want to do anything with it, you trade that as well. Probably get back a good defenseman, package that for a defenseman. And there's a shit ton. There's a shit ton you could do with the picks. I wouldn't mind us trading at least the first round picks if we want to package a couple of them. Maybe move up, maybe move down. We'll see though. 1-0 Kings. Let's go, Odelski. Hell yeah. Bobs. Hey, Harry. I thought the Habs played really well. Overcame a few bad penalty calls. I feel like we dominated a lot of the game, but lacked the intensity. And finished the last game. Dobesh was okay. Bobs. Yes, I agree with most of that. We definitely overcame a few bad penalty calls. Dominated for segments of the game. Definitely. But lacked the intensity and finish of the last game. Here's the thing. The game itself wasn't intense, so we didn't need to up the intensity. That I get, but the lack of finish, that's for sure. There were a couple scrambles in front that if this were last game, the Habs are finishing those off. Habs have the patience. They're finishing those chances off. The Canadiens probably end up winning this game, ignoring the empty nets, probably 4-3, 4-2, for example. But we did lack that finish, I agree. Dobesh, I would argue, was just okay. I mean, he's the reason for the first goal. I'd argue needs to have that third goal that ends up being the game winner. Obviously can't blame the empty netters on him. Second goal was just extremely unlucky on just the Canadiens in general. So yeah, I'd say he was okay. He made some good saves, but the 2 goals that were arguably at his fault, I think that kind of take away from the good saves he made. I'm ending Helly. Faggio, that's a ripperino, my guy. I got Star Trek DVDs, don't like it much, but my GF does. Hey, there you go, Bane. There you go. I got some Star Trek. Where the hell are they? Oh, they're over there on the DVDs I gotta put on my other shelf. Oh yeah, you guys can kind of see where it this segment ends and then this segment begins. You can kind of see that. I got some Star Trek. I got the movies, except for the first one. The new Star Trek. I have 09 and Into Darkness. I think the new one I don't have. And then there's one of the reboot movies that I don't have. The Nemesis, that era. There's one of those I don't have. And then I think there's one of the old movies that I don't have. Girls like Star Trek. Who figured? Yeah, who would have figured? I wouldn't have. That's for sure. Habs finishing is the same as Frankie McDonald in bed. It doesn't happen. I agree. Odelski. I like Bill Xenon, big center. I don't think we need a center. That's the thing. Unless you're just saying a guy who you like in general, Salty. We have Michael Hage, who's probably the second line center. I'd imagine Owen Beck could potentially be the third. Maybe if Bill Zenon's like a third or fourth round pick, if he could be a fourth line center, that could maybe work. But if he's like a first round talent, then obviously he's at the very least a third line center, I'd imagine. Carbonneau, that's the guy. Carbonneau. I feel like Carbonneau is boom or bust. He's very skilled with a quick release, but sometimes weak physically. Okay, so I don't think that we're going to go for him then, Salty. I don't think we're going to go for him then. If he's very skilled with a quick release, but sometimes weak physically, I'm assuming that means he's scared to take hits, not that he just doesn't go for hits. If it's that he doesn't go for hits, then I could see it. Maybe we still pick him because we could probably work that into his game. But if it's more that he's scared to get hit, it's kind of tough to work that out of a player. Yeah. Oh God, where am I? Harry McRice, Marcus McHunt, how's it going, my good sir? Thank you for coming by. So Slavkovsky needs to be a tough guy, especially after the whistles. Odell, yes and no. I think there's points where he can be that, and I think there's points where he shouldn't be that. I definitely do think out of the guys on the top line, he definitely needs to be the guy who's the toughest in there, kind of getting in guys' faces. It feels like he has that in him. Give it like 2 years. He'll be able to do that consistently. I think he'll be able to do that. Slavkovsky's going to be a fucking beast physically, give him a couple years. He does sometimes, but less likely strength. Oh, okay, Salty. Okay, so he will throw the hits, but he's just less likely. Okay, well then, yeah, you can definitely teach that into a player. His English probably isn't the greatest either. That's true. He's very much probably more of just a general French player, or generally knowing French. Yeah. McDavid's contract will be 8 years at $151 million. That would be about $100 million more than I would give McDavid. I mean, McDavid lacks the defensive skill. His heart isn't in the game. In the playoffs. Oh, Dusky. I thought you were talking about Justin Carbonneau. Okay, no. I mean, I thought you were talking about Carbonneau, but yeah, no. Yeah, Slav. I think his English has gotten better. It's definitely probably not the greatest, but I think his English has definitely improved over the last couple of years since we drafted him. I definitely think that's the case. But yeah, I misconstrued that, Odell. You made a comment about the Habs using a draft pick to acquire Crosby. Do you truly feel that will push the Habs to the next level? Won't the cost to acquire him be pretty big? Pittsburgh would want a lot. Bob's, of course, it would depend on a few. Factors. Number one, if Pittsburgh's going to a rebuild and Crosby doesn't want to be there for the rebuild because he knows he's got 2-3 more years left and it's going to take more than 2-3 years for the Penguins to come in and out of a rebuild. B, if Crosby straight up requests a trade, he has a no move clause, so he could say, hey, trade me to either Montreal or Colorado, which are the two most likely destinations because obviously McKinnon, and he grew up loving the Canadiens. He was a Habs fan before he got drafted by Pittsburgh. Just going to take a quick sip. So depending on those two factors, say both those happen. Pittsburgh fully commits to the rebuild. So for example, say Pittsburgh fully commits to a rebuild. Crosby request a trade, obviously not a malicious thing, but just, hey, if you're going to do a rebuild, I would like to be traded. I want to go to either Colorado or Montreal. Montreal doesn't need to give up that much then. They'll still need to give up a good amount. But because of those circumstances, I think a first dock and maybe an extra piece would be able to get it done. Because Crosby's 37. He hasn't slowed down, sure, but he's 37. Doc is young. They might like his size. They might look at him and see, hey, if we can mount this. Does my mic want to work now? Okay, there we go. I see the line is moving. The mic has turned back on, so I'm going to let you guys know what was going on. It's the reason I came up a few minutes late tonight. It's the reason Tyler, by the way, I do see Tyler in the chat. I will get to your comment in a second. I'm reading everybody's comments. That's the way it always is. For some reason, I'm on top chat right now. I don't know why, but there we go. So, I was late by a few minutes because my computer was saying that my mic wasn't recognized. Because it does that thing sometimes where you plug it in and it doesn't recognize what a USB device is. So, I had to do that. I had to unplug it, plug it back in a few times, and finally got it to work. And I had to do that this time. I wasn't going to restart my computer because I was already like 3-4 minutes late. So yeah, if it does it again, just yell at me, tell me, Harry, you're muted like you did that time, and I'll just go and plug it back in. So we're all good on that front for now. So anyways, I don't know where I left off, but I'm just going to say Pittsburgh might like Doc because they can potentially mold into a Geno Malkin if he stays healthy. They'd probably like his size. Use that first-round pick because they're in a rebuild. That's probably what they'd want as draft picks. You give them someone like, say, a Philip Mazar. Maybe someone like that. Owen Beck, maybe. But you give them a guy like that. You get that deal done. And then maybe you add in a second-round pick. A former first-round pick draft, former first-round draft pick, and then say it's Philip Mazar. 2 former first-round draft picks. That's pretty goddamn good to acquire Sidney Crosby. To get him as your second-line center with Ivan Demidov and then whoever you trade Patrick Laine to. Hell, Crosby and Laine have very similar cap hits. Maybe it's Laine in the deal. Maybe you do the first Calgary's first this year, a second-round pick. Maybe you attach Patrick Laine and then you do Owen Beck, for example, as say some type of guy. I think if you want to replace Crosby with a scorer, that's what you got to do. I think you go out and they get Patrick Laine. Pittsburgh makes stupid moves. Don't put it on me. If Pittsburgh makes the deal, it's on Pittsburgh. So yeah, do you think the Habs need to restructure the D-core? Just a little bit salty. Not much, but just a little bit. Matheson's going to be probably moved. He had a really good game this game, ironically. He had a really good game. But he still needs to be moved. Savard's going to retire. We might have one of Mayu or Reinbacher coming up after this season. So, what I think is that the Habs might go after a free agent. Maybe it's an Aaron Ekblad. We'll see. Maybe it's Aaron Ekblad. Maybe it's a guy on the left side. Either way, I think Jackie's staying in the lineup. And then I think if you're not going to have... Reinbacher or Mayu come up, then you sign Ekblad, and then next year, that's when you focus on getting... Reinbacher or Mayu in. You don't rush them, you take your time with them a little bit, and you just make sure that they are fully going to be ready. So yeah, that's what I think. Don't really need to restructure as much as just retool a few small things. He just needs to be around Wilson more, and he can be a fucking pussy. I agree, Odell. Harry, I love you kids. Read all chats. Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate that, my good sir. All right, Tyler. I forgot. I don't know how to say your name. My apologies. Correct me if you're still even in here. I hope you are. Hey there, I really need to ask you something. Listen, the NHL live stream chat forced me to leave, so I had no choice but to leave and block them. I would like to know what happened there. Please and thank you. It's going to be hard to get Crosby. I think he's well integrated in the Pittsburgh community. He definitely is salty. But, again, if they're going into a rebuild, Crosby's either going to want out or they're going to go to him and say, hey, look, we love you, but we're going to rebuild. We want to give you a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Where do you want to get traded? They'd probably go to him. I feel like they would respect him that much to at least notify him before they start talking a trade, is ask him where he wants to go, especially because he has in the move clause. You might as well just do that right away. And then, yeah, everybody tell me that I'm muted, that I'm taking my pants off, which I was. We're back, Jack. Your job of piss. Let's go, Bane. Pens suck. Should trade Crosby. I do agree. I think that they should. I'm not sure about the Pens wanting Doc. I agree about the first-round pick and another piece, though. Just not sure anyone wants Doc now. I think there could be some teams that really like his size. Pittsburgh could be one of those teams that wants a little more size, so Doc could be a guy that you do. Hell, I mean, think about it. You go Laine, Doc, a first-round pick. If that gets it done, that'd be fucking crazy. It obviously wouldn't be able to. You'd probably need 2 more pieces at that point, but it'd be kind of nuts. Their GM is Kyle Dubas, exactly, Odelsky. Their GM is Kyle Dubas. They would need to, they would probably do that. You're gonna love Ekblad. What's wrong with Ekblad, Odelsky? What's wrong with Ekblad? Jade Crosby to Vancouver. Oh God, Vane. Talk about that's like trading Crosby to Arizona in 2014. It's like, okay, well, you're going from a bad situation to a worse situation. It's like we don't got to deal with that anymore. You're just getting him off the hands just to get him off at that point. He can be good at times, but get ready for Matheson 2.0. Okay, never mind, Odell. I do not want Aaron Ekblad then. Clearly, I was just really enjoying the name brand of Aaron Ekblad, former first overall pick. Clearly, that's what I really liked. But, yeah. Vancouver was not that great 2 months ago. They traded JT Miller for a reason. They're probably dealing Pettersson, and I understand the deal would probably be Crosby for Pettersson plus about 3 more assets. But I don't think that they would do that. Above average offense, but very spotty defense. Okay, then never mind then. Because we would need some guy who's really good defensively. More than likely to pair him with Hutson. Even though Hudson's defense is pretty good. Hudson's defense is pretty good. You would need a guy who can be like just very good and let him go do his thing offensively. Remember when Vancouver was a playoff team? Barely. Barely. It feels like they were out for most of the year. They were a playoff team last year, and this year just... oof. Yeah. Alrighty. I gotta get through these notes. My God. I got stuff to do with my best friends. Oh God, where was I? Capitals press, but there's no shot. That's where I said Strome gets his breakaway, but it breaks the stick of Gooley. Shots are 3-1 Canadiens 11 minutes in. There were somehow no shots for a good 4 minutes. Demidov gets a stick knocked out of his hand during a line change. There's no call. Canadiens get a shot as Gooley gets taken down behind a play by Duhaime. And the Capitals, of course, get a power play. Gooley's called for interference on Duhaime for retaliation, basically. Fantastic penalty kill. Habs get a clear. Anderson nearly gets a full break, but there's a really good stick by John Carlson to break that up. Canadiens get some clears. They kill time. Wilson nearly puts one home, but it's just off the outside of the post. It did look like Dobesh would have gotten it had it been an actual shot. Habs are 1-for-1 on the penalty kill. Yeah, man, I'm your friend. You're my friend. Let's go. If the Kings let go of Gavrikov, you guys go after him ASAP. He's that good, Odell. Is he really? It's funny, but during the regular season, Savard and Matheson were blamed for nearly every failure of the Habs, including the price of gas. Now they seem to afflict some power switching. Exactly, Bob. Exactly. Like, genuinely, Matheson had a fantastic game tonight. Savard, I thought, was all right. He wasn't very noticeable, which means he's doing his job well. When you're noticing him too much, it's either, holy shit, Savard's blocking like 9 shots a game, or he's turning the puck over 8 times a game, which does not happen much at all, him turning the puck over in general, really. When you're not noticing him much, if at all, he's just doing his thing, being defensive, being a good third pairing guy. Gabrikov's defensive weapon, very good defensive analytics. Okay. I would quite like Vladislav Gabrikov then. I don't know if I'd want him at the deal that the Kings got him at, because what did they sign him to, like 5.5, 6 mil? Is that what they signed him to? 5.875. Don't know if I'd want that. Oh, actually, he's not even that bad offensively. 5 goals, 30 points. He's good for seemingly about 20, 30 points a game. 20. If this dude was getting 20, 30 points a game, there's an issue in the NHL that needs to be solved. If Vladislav Gabrikov is averaging 20 points a game, what would that equal in 82 games? He would have 1,640 points in the entire he would have that over the course of a season, which is very nuts. I want to because Hall is duty booty. I agree, Salty dude. I don't get why Yzerman's still hired. I don't get why he hasn't been fired yet, I should say. But, yeah, get rid of Justin Hall as soon as you can, man. Get a low-key guy like Perbix. I really see him as another Forsling-esque player. Yeah, Odell, Perbix, I haven't seen much of him, ironically, despite being in the same, division as the Canadiens. I don't see much of Nick Perbix in Tampa Bay. But, yeah, shit. All right, Gavrikov, if he's pretty good defensively, I would not mind him as a technically first pairing guy for Hutson, but the minutes probably go around. He is probably, honestly, the first unit on the penalty kill would probably switch from Savard and Matheson to being Gooley and Gavrikov, which sounds pretty good. He's been good in the Lightning Panther series. Nice. Weirdly, I've been watching most of that series. I have not seen him much at all. Probably because he's good defensively, and you don't notice defensive guys all that much unless you're like really looking for them. But, yeah. I sent you the Robin Williams and Jim Carrey movie like 3 years ago. I know for sure you sent me The Truman Show. And I can't remember which Robin Williams movie you sent me, Bane, which I'm sure... You look at the amount of movies I have, I'm sure you can understand. I want to say it was Jumanji, but I'm not entirely sure. Because I feel like my sister got me Jumanji, but I might just be confusing that with the fact that my sister really likes Jumanji. So I might be confusing those facts, but I know for a fact you got me, it was Jumanji. Okay. I'm not a bad content creator. I remember the movies that my fans sent me. Yeah, Truman Show and Jumanji, which, yeah, Truman Show, yeah, I did say, yeah. So Truman Show, great movie, by the way. Both great movies in different realms. Truman Show's a great, just, movie, just in general movie. And then, Jumanji's just a fun, turn your brain off and just sit back and enjoy it movie. Just both very, very great movies. And again, Bane, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Love you too, man. Love you too, for sure. Shit, where am I? Alright, it would only take 2 seasons to break Gretzky's point record. That is very true. If he was averaging 20 points a game, that'd be crazy. I'm giving Eisman one more year. Salty, fair enough. I probably would be firing him this offseason, but I get why you'd be giving him another season. Outside of that, or one more year, I should say. Outside of that, if you want to consider Grzelcyk, I don't mind Grzelcyk. Alright, I'll look in Mod Squad. Yeah, there you go, Dusky. That's all you're getting out of me. But yeah, Grzelcyk, I think that I like Grzelcyk. I just don't know if I see him as anything more than a second pairing guy. But that's, you're happy, I'm glad, Odell. I haven't seen a ton of Matt Grzelcyk this past season. Hi guys, there's a tornado on the ground in Cherry, Pennington, Custer Powdered River Grant. Please warn people. Oh, please warn people. I misread that. Jets fan, thank you. Tornado Hunter, that's pretty fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, there's Bane confirming Jumanji and Truman Show. Big movie guy. Oh, what gave it away, Wolverine? What gave away that I was a big movie guy? Please take cover. Tornado on ground in Cherry, Pennington, Custer Powder River. You're storm chasing right now. Let's go, Jets fans. Stay safe, my good sir. Stay safe, please. Do you have any of the Star Trek original series? I've seen all of them. But there's one where the Enterprise goes into an alternate universe and the entire crew becomes violent and angry. I actually don't, Bobs. I own the movies. Screw it. Why not? I'll grab them. I'll show you guys the Star Treks that I own. I don't think you guys can see it on stream. No, not yet. Damn it. Yeah, these are the Star Treks that I own. I'll show them off in a second. That episode sounds good. I do eventually want to get into Star Trek. I do want to check them out. They seem like very, very intelligent sci-fi shows. I do want to check them out. Tornado on ground and Cherry Particular Custer River Grant. Thank you. Urgent, please. Tornado on ground. You're chasing right now. Oh, you're a Panthers fan. Sorry, your username said that you're a Jets fan, so I apologize for that. Panthers fan, shout out. My second favorite team. Let's go, my good sir. Your girlfriend's a Winnipeg Jets fan. She's from the UK. Oh shit, let's go, dude. Hell yeah. All right, so before we get back into the game recap, because Bob, I don't think he didn't request it. I just said that I would do it. I didn't give him the option of if you wanted me to show him or not. But I will show you guys these Star Treks. We got the second. Oh my God, this lighting is ass. You're meeting her on May 5th. Let's go, my good sir. Hell yeah. Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan. The third one, Search for Spock. Fourth one, Voyage Home. Sorry again, the lighting is bad. When I do the full DVD collection, you guys will be able to see these more. Sealed, Star Trek 5, Final Frontier. Yep. Sixth one, The Search for the Undiscovered Country. The Undiscovered Country, not The Search for the Undiscovered Country. Generations. Oh, I think I have all 3 of the new movies, actually. Yeah, I do. First Content. She's flying in from Newcastle, England. You meet on Xbox One. Oh, shit, no way. Yeah, you met on Xbox One. That's pretty sick, man. She's learned disability of autism. Oh, shit. Dude. Fucking storm chasing, man. Fucking my respect goes to you, my good sir. My respect goes for you. My fucking hair. There we go. Fucking, you're gonna... Holy shit. Yo, dude. You're asking to marry you? Bro, come back and chat. When you do, we gotta know how that goes, man. We gotta know how that. I think she's gonna say yes, man. I got a feeling. I think she's gonna say yes. The King scored. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. You have a ring. Warren Fogle. Let's go. Let's go, man. Star Trek Nemesis also sealed. I have a couple of these sealed. And then these two I for sure got in the new haul, the Star Trek '09 Blu-ray and the Star Trek Into Darkness, which is one of those weird ones that have two covers, kind of. You're 31, she's 20. Oh shit, nice. Let's go, man. Hell yeah. I'm sure she'll say yes, dude. I'm sure she will. I got a strong feeling. You love Nemesis Bane? I love the cover for Nemesis. Because I'm a big, like, green guy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big green boy. But I love this color green on the cover. I've always loved that poster, so I'm hoping I enjoy Nemesis. I'll put these back, and then we'll get back into the Canadiens review. If I could, no, please don't, thank you. Don't snag on the, thing. There we go. Nemesis. I can't speak all of a sudden. Nemetras. That's the new name for Star Trek Nemesis. Nemetras was best. I hope it is. I hope I'll enjoy Nemetras. Sweaty God. Sweaty God. Thank you, man. I'm Florida Panthers, Boston Celtics, Kansas City Chiefs fan, Ohio State Buckeyes, Portland Sea Dogs, Colorado Avalanche, and Flames, Ottawa Senators, Montreal, and the Canucks. Let's go, man. Go Habs, go, baby. Let's go. All right, I got to get back into the game recap. I will answer any comments that you guys put in the chat, of course, as always. So the Canadiens killing time. Boston Red Sox, too. Nice. Picard was selling a review on that goal. Did I say Picard? Did I say Picard? I think I did. Pickard was selling a review on that goal, and Not Blog did not budge. Okay, thank you, Odell. I'm pretty sure I just said Picard instead of Pickard. That is not good. I want the Habs to win for the memes, but I feel like they're getting out-hit. Yes, they are salty. They are indeed. Aside from last game, where I think we out-hit them 2-1, I think. Where we out-hit the Capitals. But yeah, I obviously as a Canadiens fan, I want them to win. I've accepted the defeat at this point, though. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, that we're going to come back. But even though it was 15 years ago, 2010 happened, you never know. History can repeat itself. It probably won't. It could. We're just going to see what happens. If we win Game 5, I'll be very happy, but we'll see. Danoa's balling? Do you mean like he's like balling, or you mean like he's like balling? What do you mean? Colorado Avalanche, St. Louis Blues, Minnesota Wild, Montreal Canadiens, Leafs Stars, Leafs, Kings, Stars, Hurricanes, Leafs, Capitals. Oh shit. Oh, really now? Really my guy. Okay. I see. All right. Montreal would love to know back. Probably Odelski. Here's the thing. As a second line center, which is something that we do kind of need right now, yeah, I would argue we might need to know back. In terms of a third line center, I just saw an idea that Odell had in my mod squad, and I really like it. Yeah, we'd probably like to know back. The issue was that we didn't want him to return to be a top 6 guy. We were going to move him to the third line because we had Suzuki and Kotkaniemi. He didn't want to be a third line center, so he went to LA, where he now, I'm pretty sure, is ironically their third line center behind Kopitar and Byfield, unless Byfield's moved to the wing. But, yeah. And just doubles, okay. And Edmondson, I don't know, Odell. I like Edmondson. I just think that by the end of his tenure, he got really, really weak. He got really weak and just did not play well. Joel Edmondson. Oilers going to the power play. Can't pay for tripping. You're a Preds fan too. Okay. Devils and Predators fan. We alive. All that matters. Yes, indeed, Bane. Absolutely. This is, I don't even know what to say. NZA, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Dano has 7 points in 4 games. Holy shit, Salty. Yeah, we probably would really like him back then. My God. Oh, here we go. Habs get momentum off of the penalty kill. We're 1-for-1 on the penalty kill, by the way. First line has a press. Suzuki, Caulfield finds Suzuki. He almost puts it home. The rebound gets to Slav with a wide open net. That just gets blocked. My God. Not by the goaltender, just blocked by a player. That genuinely sucks that couldn't go home. Capitals go right back to the power play, though. Jack Guy is called for an interference on Alexiev. That just sucks. Canadians have a good penalty kill. Capitals do get a shot, but there's some clears by Matheson and Savard. Matheson has a great stick. While he's down to just get a clearing chance for Armia. Habs end up being 2 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. I'll get to the final minute, which is literally what's about to happen. Then I'll read your guys' comments. Final minute, Capitals press. There's a good stop by Dobesh after Caps offside. 3 seconds left. The Habs win a draw on their zone. Would have been a 2-on-1, but time ran out. So, scoreless game after the first period, but the shots are 7-5 for the Capitals. So yeah. I just gotta get to your comments now. You're an Oilers and a Canadiens fan. Nice. Actually, I do, but if I say it, it'll get my ass banned from YouTube. Oof, NZA. Using your mom's tablet. Hey, nice. That's kind of sick. Let's go. Oilers score Perry. I feel like, oh no, I think I read that a second ago, but I just reread it now, so I thought it was a double comment. Do you think Dobesh is a guy who will stay for the future or flame out like Schmid? Salty, I'll be honest, I've got no clue. Wolverine got to take off Harry. See you on Wednesday and potentially Friday. Hopefully Friday. Fingers crossed for that. Fuck Tom Wilson. Yes, indeed. Fuck Tom Wilson. Couldn't agree more, Wolverine. Thank you for coming by, my good sir. Enjoy yourself, my friend. But Dobesh, being a guy that stays for the future or flames out, I'm not sure. On one hand, Fowler obviously is going to be the starter. We know that he's going to be the starter in a couple years. If not, next season. If 2 seasons, I think for sure he's going to be the starter. Next year, he's probably the backup. Dobesh, I don't see has a spot if Montembeault sticks around. If Montembeault sticks around and he ends up being the backup compared to Fowler, when Fowler takes over as the starter, if Montembeault's going to be the backup, obviously that leaves Dobesh no room to get into the backup's job. I think that the spot is going to be wide open for either Fowler or Dobesh come preseason for sure. I just don't know. I don't think he's going to be a flame-out guy, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that I'm pretty sure can go to the AHL. I don't think he's played enough games to be eligible for waivers. So I think he's a guy that gets sent down next year, and then next year, if after next season he's not with the team, I think we end up dealing him. I think he could be a guy that either we just let go or we just end up trading him just to, hey, get you going play somewhere else. Maybe San Jose. San Jose seems like a place where Dobesh could really flourish as the backup to Yaroslav Askarov. At least that's my opinion. So, I think Dobesh, I don't think he'll flame out, but I don't think he's going to stay with the Canadiens if he's an NHL goaltender. Unless we end up trading Montembeault, which I don't think will happen unless we get like a first and something good, If it's something like, say, Wallstead in a first for whatever reason, if that was offered to us. I think if it's something like that, then it's like, okay, maybe you have to pick that. But again, that's not going to happen. That's not going to be offered to the Canadiens, so don't got to worry about that. But it'd have to be something like that, I'd imagine, for the Canadiens to really say, yeah, we got to trade this guy. We got to kind of risk the future for like the next year or two. That's what I think. Reading all your comments, Jets fan. That's a sick. You're a fan of all those teams, man. Mod Squad had a banger idea. Let me look. I like that. We might do that. We might do that for next game. Take your time with Fowler. Oh, Salty, I would love to as well, but dude, I don't know, man. He's playing great in Laval. It's only been 3 games, but he's probably the starter for the playoffs if Monty's hurt for Game 5, and if this game goes to 6 or 7 and we end up winning, for example, to the second round, if he's still hurt there, Fowler's probably the starter. I would imagine that that Fowler is the starter. I don't think they're going to go Connor Hughes, especially because he's going back to Europe next year. Yeah. And yeah, he's been played pretty good. He played 3 games, 2-1-0, 2.32 goals against average, and a .914 save percentage, so I'd say pretty good. I think he had a really, really good start to his tenure in Laval. And keep in mind that .214 is including a game where he allowed 5 goals. So that's pretty good. For him to have that with a 5-goal game in there. Dobesh's story is very interesting as well, man. It's very interesting as well, for sure. To see a guy get picked like that and come over from Europe and, first game, gets that shutout against the Panthers. starts off hot, has that little down slope, ends the year with a couple pretty solid wins. Has to come in as the starting goalie, very much like how Dustin Tokarski had to in 2014, because your starting goalie goes down and Dobeš is suddenly the starter, and it's like really fascinating story so far. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. It's already been confirmed. Hughes is indeed leaving the Rocket. He's going back to Europe after this season. Manchester City fan, Liverpool, Leafs, LA Kings, St. Louis Blues, Leafs, Kings, Hurricanes, Flames, Blues, and Stars. Hey, that's sick, man. That's sick. You're a firefighter, oil rig firefighter, and a storm chaser. My hat goes off to you, my good sir. Hell yeah. Capitals score. Minute 25 into the second period. Strome gets his second of the playoffs. A horrible play by Dobeš. Has the puck right in front of him. He doesn't elect to cover it. And Strome just ends up burying it. There's a cap right in front of Dobeš. I don't even think he saw it. And yeah, it's a 1-0 Capitals lead just like that. Dvorak gets called a couple minutes in for a high stick on Dubois. So that is a power play for the Washington Capitals. You've been a firefighter since you were 18. Sick, man. That's fucking props to you, my good sir. The Habs are playing well to get it cleared. First, there's an Ovechkin shot blocked by Alex Carrier. Joined the fire department right off college. Nice, man. Nice. Good for you, man. That's pretty sick. That's pretty dangerous, man. Hopefully you've been safe. No real risk. Hopefully there. 136 IQ. Let's go, Bane. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. There's an Ovechkin shot blocked by Alex Carrier, not Will, as I just said a minute ago. It was kind of a scary hit, but I guess the rules don't apply for everyone. Direct quote from Dobeš after the Wilson hit on Carrier. It was kind of a scary hit, but I guess the rules don't apply for everyone. Holy shit. Wow, that's awesome. Dobeš is sticking up for Carrier like that. We're going to talk about the hit, of course. I will say right away, it was a headshot. Let's just say now it's a headshot. You bought Bitcoin at 1K. Holy shit, man. Damn. Nice. You're off work tonight. You've been sleeping on the couch last night. Oh shit. Okay, I see Panthers fan. I see. Hopefully the couch is comfy at the very least. So it's a 5-on-3. Armia gets called for a dubious hook on Wilson. That is probably the most questionable play of the game. And I just put here Matheson game of the year. This was easily his best game of the year. 2 great clears in the 5-on-3. One while he's literally lying on the ice. So he had the one earlier to get it to Armia for a clear, and this one he just able to get the clear himself. So apparently Matheson's just played the entire game lying on his stomach, because he played great doing that tonight. Habs end up being 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. The Habs fans, of course, go crazy, yelling in the arena. Just absolutely just crazy how loud the Bell Center will get. Your favorite St. Louis Blues are Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, Jordan Kyrou, and Nathan Walker. He is Australian, yes sir. Bobs, you're out. Thank you, man. Hey, no problem. Thank you for coming by, Bobs. Much appreciated. Have a good night, my good sir. I just realized I should move my notes over a little bit to the other side so I can see my mic thing when it if it goes out, which if it's every half hour like it seemed to be, it'll probably be going out in the next couple minutes. So hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. You love the Celtics and the Red Sox. Nice. Let's go, man. Whew. So the Canadiens press. There's a first line. Suzuki finds Slavkovsky, but just can't finish the job. The shots are 6-0 Capitals 8 minutes in. Then the Habs go to a power play. Celtics so lucky they won. You bought a house up north. Nice, Bane. That sounds like it'd be pretty cool to buy a house. That sounds pretty cool. Hopefully I get to do that myself one time in my life. But the Habs go to a power play. Like I said, Dowd gets called for an interference on Nick Suzuki. The Canadiens look really solid on it. I think Dobeš will have a solid career, but I don't think it'll be in Montreal because I feel like they would want to keep Montembeault as the veteran behind Fowler. Exactly what I said, Darkness. I agree. Capitals end up with a clear. The slow entry, good passing, finds Demidov. And the Canadiens score. You love the snow? Let's go, Bane. Hell yeah, me too. We score Juraj Slavkovsky from Demidov and Hutson. I'll be careful with my words, but it's hard to watch some of these calls. Quote from St. Louis. Holy shit. Okay, so they really aren't happy with the way the game went tonight. That's understandable. I completely get it. I mean, we just mentioned it. The Wilson, Armia getting called for a hook on Wilson. I don't think that it was really, there was much there to call for a hook. I don't think so. Looking at a replay before I came up here, I don't think that should have been called. I think that 3-1 LA, nice Odell. I think that the Wilson headshot on Carrier should have been called. I think that, again, if you want to go back to game 1, the fucking Ovi hit on Caulfield doesn't even have the puck. Clear interference at the very least. No penalty. The one in overtime, the botched icing, that shouldn't have been an icing. There's things in this series that you can look at that, you know, hey, if that Wilson headshot is called, say it's at the very least 2 minutes, maybe Montreal sealed the game. Maybe we're in overtime. Maybe, I don't even care if we lose the game still. Just consistently call shit. I don't care if we end up losing this game 9-1. If the game is called right down the middle, fuck, that's fine. You know, call the Wilson headshot. You know, you gotta call the game less in favor of one team or another. And looking at the makeup calls, like, I get the, you know, makeup calls. This team's had 4 power plays and this team's had 1. I get why they do it. Because you look at the end of a night and it's not really good to see, hey, this team had 9 power plays and this team had 1. But it's more indicative of the team that's drawing more penalties, and it's indicative of the team that is taking more penalties. If you're taking 9 penalties in the game, you're going to get on your team real fast that, hey, hooking, don't do that as often. Hey, you're tripping guys up, watch your stick. You're going to be teaching guys more often. It's arguably better for the games to eventually get to, hey, this team had 9 power plays, this team had 1, for this team to get better, rather than, okay, well, this team could have had 10 power plays, but we only gave them 2, because this team had 3 penalties. You know, they were 2-0 at one point. We had to make up for these guys. We just couldn't get a, you know. No. The Capitals would have had 9 penalty kills, 9 penalties to kill, if they called everything that they should have. Tonight, at least. At the very least, tonight. This series probably gets tied. The Ovechkin headshot on Evans should have been 5 in a game. The Wilson headshot on Carrier should have at least been 2 for charging and 2 for interference. Arguably should have been 5 in a game. I think even though it's a headshot, I think you could probably get away with just the 2 for interference and the 2 for charging. Or 2 for roughing, whatever you want to call it. Interference, roughing, whatever you want to call it. You can get away with that, I think, on that play. Ovechkin getting 2 for interference on a clear headshot? That I don't know if I agree with personally. I don't think I do. Fiala gets a goal. Thank you, Odell. Caps are just a dirty team. I agree, NZA. Harry, can I send you Roger Rabbit DVD? I will say no, but if I can find it, it's because I already got it. It's because I already own it. My sister got me the Blu-ray a couple years ago, so I will say no, because I would have an extra copy. I have actually it's a Blu-ray and DVD, so technically I have both the Blu-ray and the DVD. I didn't realize how many special features the Blu-ray had. My God, very, very nice amount of features. But yeah, like I said, I'll say thankfully, no, you don't need to send it to me because I already own it. It's one of those movies that I do. It's one of the 1,200 movies I own. It's something like that. I got to do a total recount. Oh God, I just realized I got to log back into my Blu-ray.com account and like go through my DVDs and all the new ones that I have. I got to track them on the app. So that's going to be fun. I might try and do that tonight. I'll see if I can log back in tonight. But yeah, truly is good. I've heard a lot of good things about Roger Rabbit. Oh, push it back in. There we go. I've been meaning to watch it. When you have as many movies as I do, and then you have Netflix and Shudder and all these other streaming services, I think it's kind of understandable why there's some movies that take a little bit longer to get to than usual. Usually they do. Bane, I wouldn't say the refs are biased to that extent that, they're costing Canadian teams the cup, because you look at a lot of teams that win the Stanley Cup, there's typically a ton of Canadian players on those teams. I think it's more so a fact to do with the, U.S. has, 24 teams in the NHL. Canadian, there's 8 Canadian teams. 3 or 4 of them are usually bad, and 4 of them usually are good. The Canucks had a chance in 2011. We had a chance in 2021. The Leafs have been contenders consistently for about 7 years. The Senators have been in a rebuild for the last decade. The Jets have just been kind of mediocre with a bad goaltender for the past decade. And then you look at the Canucks. The Canucks are a team that unfortunately just seem to choke when they get into the playoffs, unfortunately. Whether it's the first round, second round, whenever it is, they don't seem to be able to close it out. Whether it's because they have a bad coach or players just aren't clicking at the time. There's different reasons for every Canadian team why they haven't won a cup. I think the Canadiens would have done it in 2021 if they were facing the Islanders instead of the Lightning. I think that we easily could have handed the Islanders their ass in a handbasket. And I don't think that the refs would have really cost us that series. Not that they did against the Lightning. We just completely ran out of gas against them, for example. The Sens had 2007 against the Ducks. The Oilers had 2006 against the Hurricanes. The Canucks had 2011 against the Bruins. Teams have gotten to the finals and have gotten to the conference finals. They just can't close it out. I don't think that's necessarily anything to do with, the NHL or the refs conspiring against Canadian franchises. Calgary had 04, exactly like Darkness said. Calgary had 04 that they could have won. They just weren't able to close it out, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't think that there's a ton there to say in terms of the refs being biased against Canadian teams. I think that's more so just the refs in general just fucking suck. I think. Shout out to my college football teams: Ohio State Buckeyes, the Washington Huskies and Gators, the Aggies, Iowa Hawkeyes, the Longhorns, Arizona Wildcats, Ducks, and Bulldog Penn Kentucky Wildcats. There you go. I was gonna say Jets fan because that's your username, but I'll say Panthers fan. I think that would be fine. Panthers fan. There you go, my good sir. I agree, Darkness. Physical media over digital media. Physical media can be a bitch to keep up with, but believe me, when you get it all sorted out and everything's on a shelf like the way it is with my stuff, I still got to organize some of it. It looks fantastic. It looks just mwah. Just looks incredible. Plus, digital media, you don't have the right to. Whereas if I own a DVD copy of, I'm gonna try and pull out just a. Let me grab like a random movie. Let me grab, I'm trying to. Why am I blanking? I just need to grab a random movie. Greenberg with Ben Stiller. Supposed to be starring Joaquin Phoenix, but he was doing his whole mental breakdown character at the time. This movie, I don't think it's on Netflix or any like streaming services in general. I don't think it is, at least. If I want to watch this movie, I own it on DVD. I don't need to rely on owning it, owning a Netflix account or Amazon Prime or anything like that. I own the DVD. I could pop in the DVD right now and watch it on stream if I wanted. Obviously, I couldn't show the movie, but we could do a watch-along right now if I wanted to. Whereas if I didn't own this movie and I wanted to watch it, I'd probably have to torrent it, which is the next best thing. I will be honest. Torrenting, completely ethically fine in my book, the way I see it. So, it's just one of plenty reasons that physical media is better than digital media. So, yeah. My friend is Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, who is now a cult in the NFL. Cult. the way that was phrased was very wonky for a second, but who is now with the Indiana Colts in the NFL. He is not in a cult. He is with the Colts. Shout out Riley Leonard. There you go, Mr. Panthers fan. Hell yeah. Montreal's played these games before. TBC, they have, man. They have. That's great. Do it. Give us. Nah, we're not doing a watch along with a Greenberg. If we were to do a watch along, I want it to be like a fun movie, like scary movie. Not a movie where it's like, okay, we got to pay attention to it. Damn, that scene was crazy. Damn, I want it to be a movie where we can laugh along and joke together. I miss you so much. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it, dude. I will try and do more content. Of course, we've got the free agency stuff and the draft stuff that we always do every year. I'm going to be trying to stream more. I just got an Xbox 360. I was trying to hold on to that until we did the first stream with it, but I just got an Xbox 360 for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, 3-4 years, something like that. Completely forgot I had an Xbox 360 controller, so I could have been playing PC games. But yeah, I've got that. Like I said, I've got the 360. I've got the other PS3, the one that isn't dead. I've got the PS4. We can do a shit ton of gaming content over the summer. And I'd really like to legitimately this year because I think it would actually be really, really fun to do some streaming content, to do some gaming content. And yeah, can't wait to make fun of my Sens fan coworker on Wednesday. Oof, TBC. That'd be a ripperino. Darkness, I did not like Scary Movie 2. I thought it was probably the worst of the first 4. I can't say anything about the 5th one because I haven't seen it. I own it, but I do not. I've not seen it yet. I probably will eventually, but oh god, I'm gonna regret it when I do. But yeah, I did not like Scary Movie 2. I thought the first one was great. I thought the third one was alright. I actually like the fourth one. I actually am one of those guys that like most of the scary movies. Again, except for the second one for some reason. Dumb and Dumber, my favorite movie. Shout out, let's go. I like that movie a lot. Very, very funny. Damn funny movie. Dumb and Dumber, pretty good one. Really love this channel. Thank you, Ben. I enjoy owning it. It's a fun channel to own, I gotta say. Harry, you gotta share out Schedule 1. It's a straight banger. What is... Do I dare look up what is a Schedule 1? Oh, it's an actual, like, game. It's an actual game, alright? Let me look. The fact it's an early access, I'm not, like... Oh, it's a drug game. Oh, is it? Alright, maybe. If it's a game that's eligible to be streamed. Wow, you're like actually doing this shit. Oh my god. Trust you bought it and got addicted. I see what you did now. You know what? I could try. Maybe we could try it. Maybe we'll do it. I will. Am I logged in my Steam or am I just gonna have to keep? No, I'm just gonna have to keep this open. Shit. I'll keep the tab open. I'll put it in my like wish list just so I don't forget it. I'm not gonna buy it right away. They should have a demo. It's in early access, so you can just download it straight up. It's not in oh, I see you can buy it. Oh, I see now. We'll see. We'll see about me buying it legally. We'll see about me doing all that stuff. But yeah, they should have a demo. Like I said, I will check it out. I will check it out for sure, man. Target Australia has a Dumb and Dumber Hot Wheels car. Oh, the dog car? That's pretty sick, man. You don't like scary movies? Fair enough, Bane. Funny enough, I'm actually someone I've been getting into horror movies the past like year or so. I've really been enjoying some horror films. Love comedies though as well, Bane. Just like you, I love comedies. If the Leafs do go on a run, I'd be down to join in for some content. Hell yeah, TBC. We'll have to see if the schedules do align, and wouldn't mind having you on at all. That would be pretty fun, I think. Like, look on Target Australia. Dumb and Dumber has Hot Wheels cars. Nice. Speaking of horror movies, you just went to see Until Dawn in theaters and it was brilliant. Really, TBC. I was kind of mixed on seeing that. I on one hand, it looked like it was trying way too hard to be like the game, but not be like the game. Like, do something different, but have it almost be like the game. And then on the other hand, it looked like a fun horror film that if you're not expecting it to be like the game, it would be pretty fun. So I want to see it. I do want to see it though. So to hear that it was brilliant. It's not a super scary movie, but it put some chills on my spine. Oh shit! Okay, I will have to. I will check it out eventually. I'll probably wait for it to come out on streaming, just because like I'm not a big fan of going to the theaters to see a horror film. That's for me. That's like not my Minecraft movie, but that's usually where it's like I either luck out and I get a completely empty theater. It's just me and whoever I'm seeing the movie with. Or it's like completely packed and it's like ugh, you know, fucking horrible. Everybody's like yelling, not yelling, but like talking during the movie and shit. That's how it was when I saw Krampus. I'd rather my experiences swap, but it was completely cramped when I saw Krampus, no pun intended, and it was completely empty when I saw Unfriended. Both in 2015. I saw a lot of movies in that like 2015, 2016 era. But, yeah, no, I'm not dropping $40 on the tickets. You only did it because your girlfriend wanted to go? Nice. I'll drink to that. Shout out Zane Movies for the girlfriend. It's always a fun thing. I've been needing to go see Sinners. I've heard it's really good. I haven't gotten around to it. I want to see that too, Darkness. I am a huge Haley Steinfeld simp. I want to see it. Don't know when I will, but I will eventually. I have Ghostface Custom. Oh, nice. Sick. Ghostface Scream movie with the mask, the booth, the voice changer, the gloves, and the knife. Nice. I love your setup. Thank you, Bane. I love the setup as well. I'll be honest, the camera is really the only thing that makes it look different, because I used to have the camera up on my computer. Instead, now it's off on my speaker. Hello. This is my hand. I So I used to have it up here, but now having it here, I really like it because it makes it look a little more open. As opposed to here, you were just kind of looking at this. You know, you're looking at me, and the movies behind it almost kind of looked kind of like compacted, you know? Now we've got it here, and you know, it's almost like I'm like, okay, look at the notes, look at the camera, look at the notes, look at the camera. It's like there's a different variation. You scared your girlfriend with a ghost face voice. Oh my god. I like you sitting. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Enjoying life? Yes, indeed, man. Just enjoying some life, man. Life is indeed pretty good. Life is pretty good, my good sir. Since we're talking movies, Tom Wilson is a chicken jockey. Chicken jockey. It almost feels more eye-appeasing. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's aesthetically pleasing because you've got more to look at. You don't just have like, okay, it's either we're looking at this dude or like a couple movies. Now it's like, okay, well, you've got like the window. You've got a wider shot, really. Instead of just, you know, if it were still like this, where it's like me, you know, me, and then you just got the movies. Now, because I'm back a little further, I just realized the mic might have picked that up a little bit more than I intended it to. You've got more of an open concept to the visual, especially if I had put it over here, if the cable reached, I would probably put it over here, and you get a little bit more open concept. That, you know, having to look here, it would have been just a little bit of a head tilt instead of just you know, a full on. I did SpongeBob SquarePants bussy prank on her. I found jump rope. Oh. Yo. Hey, Bane. Welcome back. So, yeah. I gotta get back to the recap. We've been going for an hour and a half almost, and I would really like to not blow my voice out tonight. I would really like that. Jump rope. Oh, okay. I see now. Panthers fan. I see. I get that now. Yeah, so the Canadiens scored. Did I get to the double minor? Where did I get that? Is that the leading goal? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, Canadiens score. Yaroslav from Demidov and Hutson. It's a tie game. Great patience. Great patience, apparently. You found a jump rope, Pank. Okay. I gotta head out, Harry, but I just sent you some screenshots. I have on my schedule one game of a picture. I'll look at that really quickly. Oh, I see your Discord account. Okay, let me see what this. Jesus fucking Christ, that first screenshot. Oh my god, dude. 3 times OG cock. All right. This sounds like a game that I would very much enjoy. It seems like a very fun game, so I would probably like it. I'm hoping it can be played on YouTube. If not, we'll just go play it on Twitch. I don't care if my Twitch account gets banned. I use it literally once every 3 years. That's being generous. So if we have to go stream it on there, I'd have no problem. So thank you for that recommendation, TBC. Thank you for the screenshots. I wish I could share them on the channel, but obviously I can't. And I'm sure you get why. So thank you for that, man. JSE has videos on it, so it should be fine. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll check that out after stream if I'll remember because I have the game open, but I'll see if I remember just naturally, obviously. So, yeah. Bane, you're the most real YouTube reward. Thank you, Bane. Really appreciate that, man. Odellski, not the only thing someone has... I get it, Odell. I get it. Twitch is overrated at this point? I would say so, NCA. I mean, that's why I said, like, I'd have no issue with, if my account gets banned for playing Session 1, you know? It's like, hey... Who cares? I can upload the archive on the YouTube anyways, or like if I open up a second channel just for my streams, like a stream archive, like I'd have no issue with that whatsoever. Kick clears. We could also go to Kick potentially. I don't know if it works with Streamlabs or OBS, but we could definitely go over to Kick probably. That'd be kind of fun. I honestly couldn't care less if I get banned either. Exactly, NZ. Exactly. Like on Twitch, like obviously I'm not gonna be like, you know, rocking, you know, fucking balls out or whatever, but like, you know, we'll just be like, hey, can we play like some edgier games? And you know, if it gets banned, it gets banned. I don't care. We still got YouTube, obviously. If the YouTube got banned now, I would really not like that. The only times I use is when I open it by accident. Completely fair. I actually do watch a couple streamers on Twitch, not as much as I usually used to do, like a good 6-7 years ago. But yeah. What's simple? Kick allows gambling? Oh, okay, so it's a bad platform then. I see now. Dude, you found a hilarious Reddit goldmine page? No shot, Sporty. Share that in the Mod Squad if you're able to. They're much more relaxed. Exactly, like... I feel like they're the guys that, like, oh, if you accidentally show a titty, they're not just gonna automatically ban you. They're gonna look at it, okay, it's accidental, whatever. You accidentally show cock. Firstly, I don't know how you would accidentally show cock, but if you accidentally show cock, then, you know. Yeah, all right, let's get back into the game before I start talking about cock again. I guess I don't. Oh, Dobesh also said this. If we go in VC later, I mean, I'm down after stream before I potentially watch something with my best friend. I'd be down to go in VC. I guess I don't really know the rules. I felt like it should have been a whistle. I mean, it was kind of a scary, but I guess the rules don't apply to everyone in this league. Okay, that's what he said, Odell. Holy shit, that's what the Dobesh said. Damn. I mean, it should have been, dude. It looked like a player's hurt on the play. It should have been. Is 187 Bitcoin good? I'm going to be honest. I've got no clue, Bane. I have no clue what any of that Bitcoin currency, online currency stuff. I have no clue what that means. Sporty's saying it's a very, very good, apparently. That's your load. That's your load of Bitcoin. You have 187 Bitcoin. Holy shit. Props to you then, my good sir. Props to you. So again, what patience from Demigod. He gets open space, goes around the net, centers it, finds slot for a 1T in front. Caulfield had a few shot chances before, but had men blocking him. This power play is going to be lethal. Deadly. 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. The Trash Pandas is a baseball team that's funny. Hey, that's a pretty funny name. Yeah, the Trash Pandas. If you have 187 Bitcoin, you have nearly 10 million American. Holy shit. Like, wow. Props to you, Bane. Alright, so the Canadiens are 1 for 2 in the power play. The Habs end up looking for more. Matheson ends up turning one over. You're wrong. Oh, are you? Are you, Sporty? You actually have 100 million USD. That'd be funny. You own a property up north? Yeah, we I think that was what you were saying. You would have 17.5 million. Holy shit. That's like 3/4 of doubling that, actually. Holy shit. I think that's actually exactly 3/4 of doubling it. So Matheson ends up turning one over. They look to set up, but a puck goes out of play. Share some bro and broke his shit. Yeah, I mean, like, I could go for a couple thousand. No, I'm joking. Don't worry about it. Sporty legitimately does. I unfortunately got to bounce, but all I'm going to say is it's not over until the fat lady sings. Exactly, NZA. I want to believe, but my hope is low. Losing at home, it's like the old saying goes, as I was going to say controversial, no, as cliche as it is, you're not in trouble until you lose at home. The Canadiens are officially in trouble. It's really not over. And yeah, NZA, see you Wednesday for hopefully not the last stream of the season. Hopefully it's the 15th to last stream. Wait, no. That would imply that we're basically going to sweep the rest of the way through the playoffs. Or we're losing in the conference finals. Hopefully it's the 21st to last playoff stream of the year. Don't ask me to do math. I failed grade 8 twice. Don't ask me to do math. Please and thank you. So Matheson turns one over. They look to set up, but there's a puck that goes out of play. Caps wanted a delay of game for puck over glass. They would not get it, though. Dobash has a big stop on, I believe it was Strome. Nice spin backhand. He tries to go 5-hole. Canadiens are playing very responsible in the defensive zone. Not risking much at all. Or as I put, that risking much at all. I don't know what I meant by that. The rest were so bad tonight, not even before the game began. They blocked players from skating close to the bench, even if no other players were around. Odell, yeah, exactly. Like, I saw that. Like, there was apparently some stuff in warm-ups where, like, Jack had gotten a whack from from one of the Capitals. Jack went over, gave a little slash to Ovechkin. There was stuff in warm-ups. But yeah, I mean, like, I kind of get why. Like, on one hand, there's not going to be a player that's just going to, jump the bench, grab another player, and start beating the shit out of him. But at the same time, you never know. Especially after what happened in Game 3, I kind of do get why they were blocking the players from, going to the other's bench. But, like, realistically, if something like that happens, They're rejected from the game before it even happens. No teams are going to risk that. You know, the Canadiens aren't going to have Juraj Slafkovsky go over to the Capitals bench, jump over, and start beating the shit out of Tom Wilson. They just lost their first-line right wing. They're not going to do that. You know? Just like how the Capitals aren't going to send Tom Wilson to go beat the shit out of Josh Anderson. They need him to throw dirty hits all the game, you know? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Shout out Boston Red Sox, the Portland Sea Dogs, the Salem Red Sox, and the Worcester Red Sox. I believe I said all those properly. Bane, you got a gun. There's bears out there. I completely get that. I'd want to shoot a bear, too. A bear came too close to me. I wouldn't say, hey there, Mr. Bear, how you doing? I'd just say, hey, Mr. Bear. You know, pull Clint Eastwood on that motherfucker. Yeah, you know? Besides, why would it occur on the bench as if it could happen on the opposite of this? Exactly, Odell. Exactly. That's also another thing. Is like, well, if Slafkovsky's going to go over and attack Wilson, for example, why wouldn't he just wait till they're both on the ice and do it? You know, you saw fucking Wilson. After that, after the penalty call that I was talking about an hour ago, you know, when he went over, he fucking... Actually, I don't think I've even talked about it yet. I don't think I've talked about the Dvorak, when Dvorak drew a penalty. Went over and fucking just grabbed at Gallagher, and then Anderson came over, grabbed at him. Why would they do it to the refs as well? Exactly. Like, there's so much there that just, like, you know, at most, like, when they're coming out, go over to both teams, say, hey, don't do any shit during warm-ups, don't do any shit at the benches, we're only going to take one. If the refs say that, well, no shit's going to happen. They don't want to be the guy that might cost their team a goal on the penalty kill or power play for the other team. They don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't know. For me, I think that it would be so weird for the refs to blockade the benches like that. Exactly. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, a Canadiens player isn't going to go over and attack a Capitals player on the bench. A Capitals player isn't going to go over and attack a Canadiens player on the bench because they're just going to get ejected at that point. Like I said, go over to both teams. Hey, if any funny business goes on, like fucking Game 3, we're only taking one or we're going to take an extra. You know, because something like that, you'd probably take Wilson and Anderson like they both got misconducts. But hey, we're going to take an extra, for example. You know, you're going to take the extra and hey, don't do any funny business around that, you know? It makes sense to do that rather than just, hey, nope, go back on your side. I don't know. I mean, Habs fans aren't crying about the refs, man. I mean, when the refs don't call a clear headshot on Wilson, they call a clear headshot by Ovechkin on Evans as a 2-minute minor as opposed to a 5 in a game, or at the very least calling it an illegal check to the head. They call it roughing or interference, whatever they called it. I have it in my notes. I don't know. I don't think there's much crying about the refs going on. I don't know. The way I see it, the Capitals are just they're worried that the refs are slowly calling stuff against the Capitals. They're not slow. They're slowly getting to that. Hey, yeah, we're gonna call 5 in a game. They're calling stuff against the Capitals a lot more than they have been in Game 1 and 2. Oh my God, you guys saw that? I should probably start charging my phone just in case. Yeah, it's at 27%. I am gonna charge my phone. Because you never freaking know. Shout out to your girlfriend. Shout out to Panthers fan, who is a Jets fan, I believe. He said earlier. Emma Grace. Shout out. Thank you for watching. He said that you're watching from Newcastle. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Hell yeah. There we go. I shouted out your girlfriend, Panthers fan, sorry. Shout out Emma Grace once again. Hell yeah. Alrighty, she is a Jets fan. Alright, perfect. Thank you. I'm glad I did remember that. I gotta get to my notes. We're approaching an hour and a half in the stream. Actually, we're over an hour and a half in the stream. Love you too, Bane. Love you too, man. Jack-Eye has 2 big hits on Eller in the corner. He then takes down Mangiapane trying to poke at a puck with Monty. Her brother's a Stars fan. Okay. Stars fan. I'm not huge about the Stars, but I will tolerate the Stars if they're a relative of a viewer of mine, or if they're a viewer of mine myself. Or theirselves, I should say. Small community indeed, man. I love having a small community. I would not mind if it becomes bigger, but if it stays a small community, I'd have no problem with that whatsoever. There's a small scrum that just kind of quickly just dissipates. Jack-Eye ends up jawing with some of the Caps on the bench. That would lead nowhere. That wouldn't lead anywhere, unfortunately. There's a 3-on-1 for the Canadiens. Dvorak doesn't shoot. Tries to saucer it over to Andy, but it's just too much. That would have been sick to make it 2-1. Capitals then press the other way. Canadians looking to up the physicality as Anderson and Gallagher both look for some quick, no-risk hits. Then there's some big hits thrown from both teams. Andy ends up going to the box for roughing on Wilson after Wilson had thrown a hit. Andy just completely bitches him. Wilson throws a hit. Andy comes over and just knocks him down like a brick shithouse. And then Wilson boards Savard on the penalty kill. No call. There's then a trip on Armia. That also goes uncalled. You play cricket for the Marlborough Cricket Club in Tasmania, Australia. Shit, nice, man. That's pretty fucking sick. Dobesh then just completely robs Connor McMichael. I was going to call him Connor McMahon. He's not Bobby McMahon. That's Toronto. Connor McMichael, off of a weird bounce from the boards. Just a great stop. Habs get the kill. The crowd is hot. Habs kill it off 5 for 5 on the penalty kill tonight. That would be the last penalty we take for the rest of the game. And then I just put, what the fuck? Habs go to the power play. Thank fucking God. Your Collingwood Magpies fan in Hawthorn Hawks in Australian rules football. Nice, Panthers fan. Nice. So there's a turnover caused by the Canadians. Evans gets it, clears it, and Ovechkin leads with a shoulder right into the head of Evans. Thankfully, it's not to the extent of a Scheifele thing. He's hit, goes down, and just kind of, immediately kind of, not pops up, but, leans up and thankfully looks fine. Does not look very dazed after the headshot. It's called for interference. Not a 5 in a game. Not a legal check to the head. 2 minutes for interference. I didn't realize that headshots are mostly fine in the NHL now. Oh god, a second player hit a second Evans head. That's true, Odelsky. Australian rules on USA TV. I think so. I think it should be on USA TV on some channel. I don't know which one it would be, but yeah. So Evans thankfully does look fine. He does get to the bench, and we score on the power play. We get the setup, we get the play. Cole Caulfield 1T, bang, right into the net, through a hole on Thompson. Hutson and Demidov with the assists. Habs take the 2-1 lead with a minute and a half left in the second period. Yeah, Capitals won another immediately. The Caps do get some sticks to break up a rush. Building was explosive at this point. Refs then at the buzzer build a wall between the benches yet again to prevent any funny business from going on. There's some words, but everybody gets to their locker room safely this time at the end of a second period. So the Canadians have a 2-1 lead after the period. After the second period, the shots are 17-9 for the Capitals. So Logan Thompson, not nearly as good as he needed to be at this point. It's clear that he is hurt. Maybe running him might be in order. Mason Cox played basketball at Oklahoma Sooners, now plays Aussie rules for Collingwood Magpies. They built a wall? Yes. Odelsky, yeah, the refs were very stuck up. After every scrum, they were quick immediately to dissipate it. I think that's mostly the reason why the game, as Sporty mentioned earlier, didn't get more physical and more, intense, is because the refs were breaking everything up immediately. They weren't like, hey, all right, just... the guys get some aggression out, come in after a little bit. No, some guys are tied up immediately. The refs are in there. Hey, come on, let's go. The refs were in there immediately. They were not letting anything happen. Is American Pie, that's his nickname. I love that. Some dude playing for the Magpies is American. I like that. He's the American Pie. I like that. That's very, very good. So, again, it's a 2-1 Habs lead. And the Canadians go to a power play 37 seconds in. Carlson's called for a slash on Christian Dvorak. It's clearly a penalty. This is where we get the scrum afterwards. Carlson and Dvorak both get called for roughing. Gallagher gets put in a headlock by Wilson. Anderson gets right in there. The refs break that all up. Habs press does a great first unit time on ice. Demidov creating some space. Hutson at the blue line finally gets options. Caulfield has a good shot, but that's blocked. Second unit doesn't get much in return. The Habs are 1 for 4 on the power play tonight. Your dog has a Dalmatian puppy called Bluey after the TV show. Oh, that's adorable. I love that. Not the show Bluey, but I love that you named Dalmatian after that. That's very sweet. That's very cutesy. Both teams going back and forth. There's a couple setups. Good turnovers do get caused by both teams. Hutson then gets mugged in front of his own net. There's no call. Suzuki gets shoved down without the puck. There's no call. Canadians look to press as the first line gets out there. No goal as Caulfield has a shot, but it's just off. Then there's a big hit. Wilson gets a headshot off on Carrier as he was looking down. Andy wanted a piece of him, shaking the gloves. Wilson backs down like a pussy. And the Capitals score seconds later because apparently you can get away with headshots in the National Hockey League now. He's playing with my firefighter boots and sleeping on my firefighter jacket. That's fun. That's adorable, man. I like that. That's very cutesy. I like that. Duhaime scores one as it just goes off Caulfield in front. That just sucks. Horrible luck there for the Canadiens. And it's a 2-2 tie game. Just like that. He's 3 years old. Oh, nice. Canadians look for a leading goal. Anderson's line has a chance. Evans has some good speed on a rush, but he just doesn't get a shot off on net. Capitals then press as a stop by Dobesh. Habs weren't getting anything at this point. It was all Capitals. They press. They try to get a breakout going, but they're able to counter it with 6 minutes left. And then they score. There's no spot slant yet for him. Okay, well, they'll grow in, I'm sure. Capitals score. Mangiapane makes it 3-2 with 3:40 left in the game. It was kind of a 2-on-1, but I think Dobesh needs to make that save. It's just a wrister. It gets by Dobesh. He needs to make that big save, and he's just not able to, unfortunately. He likes fire trucks. Fair enough. I completely get that. Caps immediately then press again. Dobesh makes a great stop to keep it a 1-goal game. Canadians pull the goalie with 3 minutes left. Duhaime hits it the first time. Hutson just doesn't have anyone to pass to. It ends up going off of a Capital. They bury it. Like I said, it's Duhaime. Habs pull the goalie again with 2 minutes left. There's pressing. They're setting up in the zone. Go to Caulfield. There's a man blocking him. Back to Hutson trying to find Demidov. There's a man blocking him. Try to go up to Suzuki. Can't get him. And there's a couple exits. Canadians do get set back up, but eventually Wilson buries the only goal he'll have of the series with 55 seconds left. That winds down the game. So the Capitals win at 5-2. You're washing him with the fire hose. Oh my God, given the fire hose, how pressurized those could be, I don't know if I'd say that's a good idea. Capitals win at 5-2 in regulation. The final shots, of course, are 26-18 for the Capitals. They will probably win Game 5 at home and end the series. But you know what? I think I said this in my playoff predictions. If not, I think I said it in Game 1 recap. I just wanted to win. I felt such a high after Game 3 when we won that game. I'm just happy with one victory in this series. He likes to be watched by a fire hose. Oh, it's safe on low stream. Oh, okay, I see now. That's good then. Watching the dog on a low stream. That's good to do then. That's very good. So I'm going to get to the final stats. Well, not final stats, but the stats after this game for the Canadians, and then we will be working on getting out of here because my throat's getting a little sore, and I've got some work to do. Are you streaming Wednesday? Definitely. I'm streaming after the game. I'm streaming after... actually, I don't know about Wednesday specifically. There's no way that's the next game for the Canadians, right? It's not Wednesday, is it? Do we have a 4-day break? Oh my God, we do. What the hell? Well, yeah, our 3-day break. I will be streaming on Wednesday. Then, yes, I will be streaming after every Canadians game in the playoffs. So... hopefully Wednesday, again, is not the last one, but we will, of course, see when that game happens. Lane Hutson leads the Canadians. 5 assists in 4 games. He is above point per game in the playoffs, which is insane. Cool. Caulfield's got 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. Nick Suzuki, Christian Dvorak, and Jurasovkovsky each have 2 assists. Alex Carrier, Brendan Gallagher and Alex Newhook each with a goal and an assist. Ivan Demidov with 2 assists. Lane Hutson, Josh Anderson, Jake Evans, Yoel Armia, David Savard, and Mike Matson each with an assist. I tried to get on. Hey, no problem. Panthers fan, don't worry about it. I completely get it. If you're working instead, don't feel pressured to come on the stream. You come when you're able to. If you're not able to, don't worry about it, man. Appreciate it. There's always the replay you can go back and watch. So that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share on everything, which includes, but it's not limited to, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Hooray. Subscribe to join the Puff Club, the H Club, the Hub Up, and the D Nation. If you're a member of the Mon Squad, thank you for running comments and streams and reviews. It is much greatly appreciated. Links in the description. Check them out. Amazon wishlist, PO Box, PayPal, Discord, Loudbox, Twitter account, the Twitch, and the Streamlabs are all down there as well. Thank you all, guys, so much for watching. Please do not forget, no matter how bad we are like last year, how good we are like this year, or how great we'll be like next year, go Habs, go, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Hooray. Again, and I am out. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Bye.